Hi, this is Liz, and welcome to my podcast, Spiritually Speaking with Liz. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about meditation. I'm a strong advocate of meditation, and I think it's really important on a spiritual journey for many reasons. So there's been lots of research on meditation from lots of different countries, from lots of different backgrounds, and I'm just going to read you a few of their benefits. I've just jotted them down and I don't forget. So benefits. The main ones, and the main one, is it lowers stress. So this is generally the reason why people want to start to get into meditation, because they've been suffering with stress, they've been advised to, they've had a breakdown, they know they can't continue at the level that they're continuing at. So then they come to meditation. So when you're suffering with stress, then it releases many chemicals into your body, which I'm sure you've heard of, the adrenaline, but also inflammatory chemicals in the body are released called cytokines. These cause the high blood pressure, the anxiety, the insomnia, and the depression. So when we're doing meditation, because we're helping to lower the level of stress, then we're slowing down the release, the adrenaline, and the cytokines. So when we meditate, we're helping to calm the body down, quieten the body down, and slow down and even stop the production of these natural chemicals occurring within the body. There's been lots of studies covered showing that regular practice does help reduce stress. Anxiety is another reason why people come to meditation, and it's a lot more recognised now. I started meditating a long time ago, over 20 years ago, and I've been a meditation teacher for over 20 years too. And I can tell you that anxiety, for me, it's normally stress and anxiety go hand in hand, don't they really? Because it's because of the stress that causes the chemicals to be released in the body, and then that's what hypes up the anxiety. So the anxiety really works well with meditation, because it's just taking yourself away from that racing monkey mind. In the yogic teachings, they refer to the mind as the monkey mind, because it's this gibbering thing all the time going on, and it is like a monkey in a cage. It's just bouncing off the walls, jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber. And what we're trying to do with meditation is just to tame that monkey, get it to sit down in one place and be quiet. Your mind's always going to wander off, and I would say the number one common myth that when I say to people, have you tried meditation? Generally their first answer is, I can't do it because I can't quieten my mind. And I think people expect when you meditate that you're off somewhere in the middle of nowhere, sat in a cave chanting Om, and your mind is absolutely clear, there's nothing in it at all. And as wonderful as that might be, that isn't the case. Unless you are an enlightened being, you're going to have those thoughts. You're going to have that thought process. What meditation does is teaches you how to work around that. One, how to quieten them down if they're a bit manic. But two, I'll go into it when I tell you about the different types, but it just teaches you how to be a little bit more in control of it. So we don't get hours where we sit where there's nothing in your mind, but you might get, a fleeting 5 minutes, 10 minutes where you sit in that zone or longer and you really feel it, but then thoughts will come in because that's the nature of the mind. And at the end of the day, we're humans, and that's how the mind works. Another benefit is it enhances mental health. So it helps to improve your self-confidence, and it gives you a more positive outlook on life. Studies shown that it reduces the frequency of negative thoughts and brings in a positive thinking. It helps to keep your memory sharp. So by training the mind, which is what meditation is basically, it's a training method to focus on one thing and redirect your thoughts to a subject, a word or a body, whichever type of meditation you want to do. So this in turn, as well as stopping the mind jumping about, it helps to keep the memory sharp because it's making your mind clearer. You haven't got all that background noise going on. Regular meditation helps with self-awareness, so it gives you a better understanding of yourself. It can reduce the feelings of loneliness and it brings about like a sense of contentment. But it's getting to know you. So it can be you in an intuitive sense, but just you on a whole. When you sit quiet, what does your mind do? When you've been in a certain situation where you've been at work or you've been with your family, you sit quiet, what does your mind do? Being aware of what your mind does in situations definitely helps you to understand yourself better. Meditation increases your concentration and attention span. So like I said, it just helps to sharpen things up a little bit. There's increasing evidence as well that it helps with memory loss, which is a real positive study, I feel. They say meditation gives you more empathy and more kindness to others, as well as improving your interpersonal skills. So people who feel a little bit anxious when they're coming into contact with new people, it's just helping you to get on control of that. It helps you to sleep better because your mood's improved, because you've got less of the stress-induced chemicals whirring around the body. Then your sleep is going to be deeper. It's going to be a richer sleep, if that makes sense. And you can do a meditation that will take you into sleep, like the Yoga Nidra. I've got a Yoga Nidra for sleep on my YouTube channel, and I get a lot of lovely comments from people saying how it's just taken them into sleep because it's all about bringing focus to the body. Another benefit is for pain relief. Research again has shown that meditation can help increase your pain threshold, and also meditation can lower your blood pressure. So all in all, there's lots of positive benefits we can get from meditation. So now we come down to the types of meditation, and there are hundreds of types of meditation. So I've just picked the few main ones, which I think are the main ones, and the ones which I work with the most. So mindfulness, you'll have all heard of that because that's really become quite buzz in the last 7 to 10 years, I'd say. Everything's about mindfulness. There's been mindful centres popping up left, right and centre. Very popular. Basically, it comes from the Buddhist tradition, but also yogic tradition too. And it's about paying attention to your thoughts. So there's different ways that you can say it. I was always taught that you imagine that your mind is like a beautiful blue sky, and the thoughts going through the blue sky are the clouds. So you'll see clouds passing through, and so it's noticing the thought, not judging it, just observing it, letting it go. It can be used in other things as well, about it's an old phrase, about be mindful how you do. So it's basically, mindful is just about paying attention with your mind instead of having it wandering off. So for me, I love the blue sky and the clouds. Just that noticing, not judging, observing. And a really powerful thing that you can try to say to yourself is, if your mind's quite busy, then it's to say, I wonder what will be my next thought. And when you say that, it's like the thoughts stop. They'll come back again, and then you say it again. I wonder what my next thought will be, or something on those lines. And it is honestly, if you try that for a week, it can really pull things in quite quickly, really get the mind to slow down. Focus meditation is probably the main one that I was taught through the yoga track. I did the meditation teaching, and I'd probably say it's one of the main ones I do. And this is the one where you've got to know that thoughts will come up. And I always say, think of it like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Think of it like the golden ticket. Your thoughts come up, and then you round the supermarket, you're shopping. Oh, I mustn't forget this. Oh, are we going to have that for tea? And then, oh, hang on, I've jumped out of my meditation. There's your golden ticket. You've become aware that you were not aware. So you bring yourself back, and then you start again. And this is what it's about. It's a training of the mind. So don't get upset with yourself when you do wander off. It's the recognizing that you do and think, oh, right, I've gone off track there. Well done, let's go back again. And then you could go back to, I wonder what my next thought will be. Or I like to focus on the breath. So you're focusing on the inhalation, you're focusing on the exhalation, on what happens within your body at that time. You could do something like in yoga, we use mala beads. So those are 108 beads with a guru bead on a string, and they go through your middle finger and thumb. So you twiddle one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. So it's just about bringing focus. And the rosary beads, that's the same type of thing. Another one from the yoga tradition is called Tratak, and this is candle gazing. So, but it doesn't have to be a candle, but it's easier. So you're sat looking at a candle, better at eye level. So really stare at it, really keep staring at it. And you get to that point where your eyes can't stay open anymore and you've got to blink. So as you close your eyes, then you focus on that space behind your eyes of seeing that flame at the back of your eyelids. That's a powerful one. And then when the image goes, you open your eyes again, you stare at the candle and you repeat the process. Another focused one, we can go into sound meditation as well, and that's repeating a mantra or repeating a positive affirmation. So the constant repetition is what helps with that. I've heard I would say, meditation that doesn't come from any traditional backgrounds, and they'll say count. So inhale 1, exhale, inhale 2, exhale, that type of thing. But to me, that's a waste, because you could be using that time to enforce a mantra or enforce a positive affirmation. Anything from I am calm and confident, I am at peace. Whatever you feel you need, then the constant repetition of that keeps the mind focused. Keeping on the lines of that is transcendental meditation. Now that really became popular in the 60s because of the Beatles. They'd gone to India and they met up with the guru Maharishi, and basically he taught them how to meditate using the transcendental meditation. Now generally you can't do this without it being a one-to-one and you pay to see somebody. Basically what they do is they choose a mantra for you and then you repeat it for 20 minutes twice a day. So 20 minutes on a morning, 20 minutes on an evening, constantly repeating. So it could be like Om Shanti, which is the universal sound is Om. Shanti means peace. So Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, and you would do that for 20 minutes. So it's like the sound meditation. There's been a lot of intrigue around it, I think, because of what the Beatles brought into it. Guided meditation, another one I use because I'm very visual, and that is following somebody's guidance, or you could do it on your own. So if you're following somebody's, then you're listening to an audio. That helps your imagination to work. Imagination is the key link to working with spirit as well. So the imagination can fire up, and then you'll be looking at images from what somebody said. They'll lead you on a journey basically, and you're following. The other way you can do it is to either have read a script or to know that you want to go to a healing garden, or you want to go to a special place that you like, you want to go to the beach, whatever it might be. But you take a few deep breaths, start to quieten yourself down, and then in your mind's eye, you take yourself to that place. I find that really quite useful. It's a very good way of connecting with your guides, connecting with your higher self, as well as relaxing you, because you can take yourself into a relaxing situation. Another type of meditation you might have heard about is Vipassana. So that is a very ancient Indian technique, and it literally translates to see things as they really are. Again, meditation's always about focus and observation of some sort. So this aims for self-observation and focusing on physical sensations in the body. Traditionally, they're 10-day courses. So you quite often see 10-day Vipassana courses in India, in Thailand, out on islands. It's normally somewhere where it's going to be quiet, and they can be quite strict. You'd be a vegetarian diets, no alcohols, quite restrictive on behavioural things, but they are very beneficial. Another one I love is called metta, or loving kindness meditation. This comes from a Buddhist tradition, if I remember correctly, and basically you sit and you're repeating, you start off with yourself, may I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be peaceful and at ease. You'd recite that probably about 5 times, first to yourself, and then you change it to directing it to a person, so a friend, a family member. So in that case, it would be, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, may you be peaceful and at ease. Then, this is where the magic happens with this. So you do that 5 or so times. Then you would do exactly the same, but with somebody who you are having difficulty with. So if you've been struggling, been arguing with somebody, if you're having difficulties with a friend or somebody at work, then you think of that person and then you say to them, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be peaceful and at ease. And it can feel a bit uncomfortable to start off with, but it's a really good way of getting that loving kindness energy across to the person. And then you would end it with, may all be happy, may all be well, may all be safe, may we all be peaceful and at ease. I think that's a really nice one to do, and it's a very calming one. It's really calming and peaceful, and it's an active one because you're repeating words. So it can be quite a good one if your mind's busy, but it's also a good one if you've been struggling with somebody being difficult with you or with your self-confidence. I really like this one. Another one I love is a chakra meditation. Now, I am a bit chakra obsessed, I am not going to lie, and I've held off doing an episode on chakras so far because once I start, boy, that'll be it. So it comes from the yogic tradition, the Ayurvedic tradition. It's in the Upanishads, and basically there are 7 main energy centres throughout the body. They do line up with nerve plexi on the body as well. So they are true things that are there physically in the body, but these are the energetic part of them. So there are many different ways of doing chakra meditation. People can do a guided visualization using colour. People can use crystals. People can use sound. There's lots of ways of doing chakra meditations, and it's just finding what feels right for you and what works for you, I would say. So there's a few. Those are my favourite ones, really. Well, transcendental meditation I don't have experience of, but those are the ones that I would say are the mainstream ones that you will have heard of. That, like I say, there's hundreds of types, and there's always somebody coming up with something random that you sort of think, what, really? But all it comes down to, I would say, is awareness, being aware of yourself. It's just made me think of, I'm sure it was Wayne Dyer, who said, praying is you speaking to God. Meditation is God answering you. As in the silence, that's where we can hear the answers. And to me, that's why it's so important on your spiritual path, and when you're trying to develop your intuition as well, is that you can truly sit and hear the answers. That's when the intuition can come in, where you are inspired, it's in spiritus, in spirit of spirit, that the thoughts can come through to you, the ideas, the new ways that you want to be, the new experiences. I think it's a stop block, really, when people don't meditate and they're wanting to work on themselves and they're wanting to progress on their spiritual path, because meditation helps things to bubble up to the surface. So we were all these beautiful lotuses sat on the pond, like I've spoken to you about before, but our roots are in the mud, and you'll get the movement of the water, and on that movement you'll get an odd little bubble coming up to the surface and a pop, and that's what happens in meditation. Things can come up, you can think of something, it'll pop in your head that you haven't thought about for years. It might have been something you struggled with. It'll pop up and then all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore, or it might be something that you think, oh, I'd like to work on that to get rid of that. That makes me feel a bit anxious or icky in some form or whatever. So to me, it's really important. And anybody I work with, I always say, meditation is your key to everything. Because if you don't know yourself, then how can you help other people? If you don't know yourself, how can you advise people or give intuitive guidance when basically it's coming through the filter of your experience? So if your filters aren't clean, then that's going to taint whatever you're saying, because you're always looking at it from your perspective rather than being able to step back. So what I'm saying is, I think meditation helps some of that stuff to filter out, to clean that filter, but it just helps you to step back, to find that peace in between. They call it minding the gap, like on the underground, mind the gap. When you mind that gap, you can be of better service to other people. So I thought I'd do just a very quick little meditation just to show you how easy it can be, how simple it can be. And I'm going to use the one which I use the most, and that's the breath meditation. So if you're not driving, if you're driving, come back and play this later. If you are not driving, then just get yourself comfortable, sitting nice and tall with the spine nice and long, bottom on the chair, feet on the floor. And then just first of all, before we start anything, just notice what your breath is like now. Where is your breath? I know that sounds silly, but is it in your chest? Is it in your abdomen? Is it shallow? Does it come in through your nose and out through your mouth? Does it come in and out of your nose? Does it come in and out of your mouth? Without changing anything, just notice where it is, how it happens for you. And then I'm going to ask you to slowly just deepen the breath. So increasing the length of time on the inhalation and increasing the time on the exhalation. So just feel it slowing down. Just allow your shoulders to relax, muscles of the face to relax. And just feel your breath deepening, inhaling deeper, exhaling fuller. And try do the inhalation through the nose and the exhalation can be through the nose or out of the mouth, whichever you prefer. Notice as you inhale through the nose that the air is cool through the nostrils. And as you exhale through the nose or from the mouth, the air is warm as it leaves your body. Inhaling cool air in. Exhaling warm air out. Inhaling cool air in. Exhaling warm air leaving the body. And just notice how things starting to quieten down a bit. And then now I want you to take your awareness to your abdomen. And as you inhale deeply through the nose, I want you to see the abdomen expand out. And as you exhale the air out of the mouth or the nose, feel the abdomen sink back down. Inhaling, cool air coming in through the nose, abdomen extends. Exhale, air leaves the mouth or nose, abdomen contracts. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. And then notice how there can be a gap between the exhalation and the inhalation, and a gap between the inhalation and the exhalation. Slow, deep breaths. If the mind's wandering off, bring it back to the focus on that cool air coming in through the nostril, on the abdomen extending, and the warm air leaving the mouth or the nose, and the abdomen contracting. Nice, slow, deep breaths. And then gently, just allowing that practice to go and opening your eyes. So can you see how easy it is? It's not rocket science. People make it really complicated, but that's all it is. You've just been meditating. Simple, simple, simple. The key is when the thoughts come in, then just let them pass by. I was once taught to label them as thinking. So a thought comes by, thinking. Or another guy taught me that you could label them, so it could be an active thought, I need to go shopping. A sad thought, thinking about something you're upset about. Labelling it in that sense. I don't know about that. That never really worked for me. I think that you could just say, I'm thinking again. But for me, I just go back to that blue sky and cloud. So that was it. So simple, so easy. And if you can meditate for at least 10 minutes every day, I'm telling you, it is life-changing. I told you all the benefits that it brings, but it just helps you to be calmer. It's part of that self-care which we've spoken about, that, having time just for you. And to me, my meditation time is a non-negotiable. Kev will know that. If we're away, then sometimes I will let it slip and change the routine a little bit. I might change it to a walking meditation. Oh, I didn't say about that one. Movement meditation. So that's going for walks or doing gentle yoga and really focusing on the movement of your body. But that's what I would change it to. Or if I was at the beach, then I would just go for a little walk and sit in front of the sea or stand in the sea and just listen to the waves. But for me, it's non-negotiable. And I think that's because I can see the benefits that it's made in my life. Huge benefits. I went through times of extreme anxiety. I had 2 breakdowns where literally it was like somebody had taken the chip out of my brain and I couldn't function anymore. I couldn't think about anything. I just didn't want to do anything. And meditation, after the second time, really helped me. It really gave me that focus. It gave me something to look forward to doing. And I started off doing guided ones because I couldn't have sat and do the focus on the breath because my mind wasn't in that state, and I wouldn't recommend that to somebody who was quite depressed. But having something where it's a moving one or a sound one or just a short guided meditation, somebody taking you into relaxation, somebody taking you back out of meditation, it just starts the process off for you. And it truly was life-changing for me. And I think that's why I'm such a strong advocate of it. And also, I feel that, as I've said, that it is an intrinsic part of your spiritual journey too. Anyway, I could go on forever, but I won't. So give it a little go. You've just done it now. So take that out, do it on a morning, do it on an evening. Again, that is personal choice. I like my mornings because it sets me up for the day. A lot of people like to do them on a night because then they can drift off into sleep. Whatever works for you. I'll put a link. I've got a YouTube channel with a few meditations on there that you could check out. Maybe try a few of those out. And let me know. Send me an email, spirituallyspeaking222@gmail.com, or Instagram, spiritually_speaking_222, or Facebook, spiritually speaking 222. Thank you so much for listening, and I will be back soon. Take care. Bye.